If you feel like singing along, stand or sit, and our first song is Listen to the Land. Just make believe you're a tiny little seed, a tiny little seed that's reaching up to meet your need with the right amount of faith and the right amount of earth. You'll grow to see the sunshine on your day of birth. Let's listen to the land that we all love. It's plan the vine above. Listen to the land. Listen to the land. Listen to the land that we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land. Listen to the land. When springtime comes, how can you tell? The air is always filled with orange blossom smells. Come summertime, the warmest sun shines, and the world is full of flowers and good melon. Just listen to the land that we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land. Listen to the land. Let's listen to the land that we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land. Listen to the land. The seasons come and the seasons go. Nature knows everything that it must know. The earth and we can be good friends. Let's listen so our harvest time will never end. Let's listen to the land we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land. Listen to the land. Let's listen to the land that we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land. Let's listen to the land.
Good morning, everybody. And welcome, Rob. Glad you're back.
Good to be back.
I just realized this song was missing a very key ingredient. The rain. What about the rain we've been getting, huh? Isn't that cool? Reduce the threat of forest fires. We love it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Donald Green, but you can call me Donaldo Verde. And on behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and the Board of Trustees and our practitioners, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are in your spiritual path, here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action, every day and every way. And we express this by learning the principles of the science of mind. And you'll find them on the back of your bulletin if you would read them with me. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. And I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and safe. And so it is. I think I missed a part in there. Let's see. Our mission statement is love in action every day and every way. And we should probably repeat that to make sure we all got that. It is love in action every day in every way. Thank you. Do we have any first-timers here today? Would you mind standing up and tell us who you are? Uh-huh. Well, we're glad you came. Thank you, Mary. Anyone else first timer? First time today? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Frank, how could you miss you? And you are?
My name is Laura, and I met Jackie over last week at a
Soul Collage? Uh-huh. Oh, well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Did you enjoy the Soul Collage? It's fun, isn't it? Yeah, so. Okay. We'd like to thank all the people who helped with the celebration today, those who work in the kitchen, all of you who are attending here today, those who handed out the bulletins. Special thanks to Dan Hancock, who was here yesterday blowing out the courtyard with the blower in the heat and humidity. We appreciate that, Dan. Not everybody would do that, but you did. So, and if you'd give your attention to the announcements. First of all, I think
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for the greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for the greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. My name is Rosemary Klein, but you can call me Rosie. It's a lovely day, and I'm grateful for the rain. You didn't get any rain? You were shaking your head no? Poor Sharon.
Very dry.
Belly dry? Darn. First of all, I'd like to light this candle that represents that light, that divine light that shines out of everyone here. Let's take a breath and just settle into our chairs and know that all is well. We are so grateful for all of you and for the presence of the divine that shines out of each one of you as you share your love with all of us. We are so grateful for that, too. And so a special blessing for Susan. And we know that surgery will be perfect, whole, and complete in the mind of God, and there is nothing to worry about. And so it is. So everyone's good today?
Yeah.
Prayer requests? Even for the tiniest thing, put it in the box. If you need a quick prayer, just ask me and we'll stand in a corner and do it privately. This reading today, I may have done this before, but I hope we're all a little bit forgetful. The reading is entitled Dolce Far Niente. And from the top of the page, this is from, of course, the Science of Mind magazine. That's what we're featuring today, this week, this month. The reading's at the top of that page. Number 1 from Lionel Richie's song. I'm easy, easy like Sunday morning. Remember? Easy, easy like Sunday morning. And from Ernest Holmes. Everyone is an incarnation of eternity, a manifestation in the finite of that infinite that Emerson tells us lies stretch and in smiling repose. I love that. That's from our big book, Science of Mind, page 388. Dolce far niente is Italian for the sweetness of doing nothing. When I first got together with my mate, this is the author, not me, I introduced the idea of a day of nothingness. What is that? She asked. Truly, we do nothing? I said, no agenda, accomplishments, no checklist, just flow with the day and see what our hearts call for. She was amazed at how giving herself this freedom would create space for clarity and joy. Sometimes we need to take a break from doing. If you are like me, you have a pretty endless list of things to do that you can choose from on any given day. If you are gainfully employed, the list is not always in your control. If you work for yourself or are retired, you can decide more easily when to indulge in dolce far niente. I especially appreciate the word dolce, which means sweetness. Doing nothing can awaken the sweetness from within. We are made of the substance of God, the substance of love, not just the emotion, but the force, that which acts through us and as us. Activate your love center by doing nothing. All your to-do lists will be there when you return to them, refreshed, clear, and more in tune with your natural self. Nature teaches us the 4 seasons: repose, germination, growth, and release. We regularly need to let soil rest, let the mind rest, and let ourselves experience the sweetness of doing nothing. Let's see. And if I have time, do I have time? It's just a little something that was in one of the magazines that just struck me because I've had a similar experience when I was young. He says, every morning growing up in Richmond, Virginia, my family would pick wild blackberries in the woods near our house. In the summer, when I was 15 years old, I plucked a perfectly ripe berry off a bush. All at once, I was struck by a profound sense of wonder at the very perfection of this small, perfect fruit. I marveled at it, the seemingly miraculous ability to grow from the earth and nourish me. I experienced the startling awareness that everything around me was balanced and correct. Each aspect had a purpose. The sky, the trees, me, even this tiny blackberry. I held in my hand. It was as if the world itself had suddenly come to divine focus. Then I heard my mom calling, and the moment ended. The experience left me with a persistent question. Why did that moment in the woods make me feel more connected to God than at any other? This is from a book called A Journey in Faith by Edward Brennan. Have any of you remembered those stunning moments where something divine was happening? In your youth or any time, even yesterday, if we just take a moment to do nothing, that's when those things happen. This author was picking blackberries, but in a sense, he was doing nothing. I wish you all many dolce far nientes till we meet again. I'll take the candle now and hold the high watch. Come over to me if you need a prayer. Remember, I'm always available. So is John. Where are you, John? There he is. Both of us are available.
Thank you, Rob. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. Good morning. Good morning. We're completing our theme for the month of June. We're using lessons from the land because nature does have some wonderful metaphors for how we can lead a better life. And our topic today is tackling those pesky weeds. When I see a beautiful garden, we know that someone has taken time to nurture the soil, to remove the weeds, and they've planted good seeds in order for us to experience the beauty and perhaps fragrance coming from those full-grown plants. We might consider, too, that each seed did not look like the plant, but it had within it everything it needed to become what we're seeing. Our thoughts are the seeds that we sow in the soil of our mind, and each thought has within it everything it needs to create an outward appearance, just as the seed has the entire plant within it. So when we plant good seeds, of love, joy, gratitude, enthusiasm, then our seed thoughts begin to grow and become the outward experience of love, joy, appreciation, and satisfaction. And likewise, when we plant thought seeds of anger, fear, unworthiness, judgment, these too materialize in our world and become the unwanted weeds that choke our joy. So just as weeding is part of the process for a healthy harvest of the land, so is the weeding we do in our mind. We must catch the weeds in our garden early before our garden is overcome with them, choking the plants we have grown from those good seeds. You and I plant a gazillion seed thoughts each day. I mean, they're running through us constantly. Some of these we just kind of let pass by, and some we give power. And it's those seeds that we give power to that start to root. There are many ways which we can look at how we grow our garden of consciousness. And the one that I like most, and I've touched on before, is what Mary Manon Morrissey and Dr. Marcia Sutton have called the 4 kingdoms of consciousness. Some of you are nodding. If you've taken our financial freedom class, you know what these are. Dr. Marcia Sutton calls them the kingdom of uncertainty, the kingdom of dominion, the kingdom of freedom, and the kingdom of wholeness. I rather like the way Mary Manon Morrissey puts it. She calls these levels why me, by me, through me, and as me. So we can imagine a piece of paper divided into 4 equal parts. So in the lower left box is the kingdom of uncertainty, and that's where we begin our journey. You know, if we pose the question that Einstein asked, is the universe a friendly place? In this kingdom of uncertainty, the answer is often no. Matter of fact, it's mostly no. And that's because in this kingdom, things are done to me. You know, we have little understanding of our own power or our own responsibility for our lives. If you remember back when you first got into Science of Mind, you recognize that probably a lot of your life was in this kingdom of why me, you know. It was for me anyway. And then we travel rather unconsciously through life, and things seem to happen to us over which we have absolutely no control. And we wonder, why does the universe keep picking on me? Why me? So we feel powerless. We feel like a victim a great deal of the time. In Building Your Field of Dreams, Mary Manon Morrissey tells a story of a woman who came to one of her workshops. Amy told her that she had been asking why me for 8 years. Amy's husband was running for an elective office, and she worked tireless with him on the campaign, often spending 15 hours a day on the phone, licking envelopes, doing all the work behind the scenes. She shared his dream and believed that the two of them would work together to bring about much-needed reform in the state. Amy's husband won the election. The morning after the victory party, he came to her and said, "I'm in love with my secretary. I want a divorce." Amy was devastated, and her love for this man turned to pure hate, which she harbored for many years. Not long after her divorce, she developed a tumor that wrapped itself around her liver. The doctors said they had done all that they could. But as she lay dying, Amy experienced a being of light at the edge of her bed. And to her, it was a vision of Jesus illuminating the room and saying to her, "You have a purpose. You will be healed." And she was. Amy was grateful for this medical miracle. And she was grateful for the reconciliation she had with her mother during her time of recovery. But 6 months later, Amy felt victimized again when her mother died. So by the time she came to Mary Manon Morrissey's workshop, she had gone through 8 years of feeling that she was a victim of a world that was out to get her. And at some point during the workshop, Amy had an awakening that it was her perception of the events and not the events themselves that had ruled her feelings, her entire belief system. Amy came from bear country and told the group that when cubs are ready to be weaned, the mother bear who has taught them how to hunt and fish instructs each cub to climb a tree and stay there. And then she leaves them, never to return. The cubs stay in the tree, sometimes for days, until extreme hunger makes them climb down and enter a life of their own. And Amy told the group, "I've been stuck in my tree for 8 years. It's time I came down." You know, we all know people who are stuck in their trees, and perhaps we've been one at some point. So much of the time we react to our world without self-awareness. And that's our capacity to stand apart from ourselves and examine our thinking and our motives. We often simply react to the experience, and then we regret what we've done. Some time ago, I watched a YouTube video which said that 10% of what happens is not in our control. The other 90% is our reaction to what happens, and that is within our control. And in the video, a man is ready for work when his child accidentally knocks over a cup of coffee, staining his shirt. He scolds the child with anger. The child goes off crying. His wife criticizes him for the outburst. He tells his wife that it was her fault for putting the cup too close to the edge of the table. The wife leaves for work in a huff, telling him to take his daughter to school. He finds his daughter, who is still crying, takes her to school, which makes him late, and when he arrives at the office, he finds he forgot his briefcase, runs home to get it, and misses an important meeting. The scenario continues, and when he finally returns home in the evening, his daughter and wife are aloof and want little to do with him. You know, he was playing in the kingdom of uncertainty, the kingdom of as me. He was a victim of his daughter's action. He was a victim that his wife put the cup too close to the table. Had he taken a deep breath and took a bit of time to become self-aware, he could have chosen a healthier response to the spilled coffee. He could have said to his daughter, "It's okay. It was an accident. Just be a little more careful." He changes his shirt then and is on time for everything, gets a kiss from his wife and a hug from his daughter as he drops her off at school. And because the house is tranquil and not chaotic, he remembers his briefcase and does not miss the important meeting. His day flows smoothly and he comes home to a loving family. The man could not control the spilled coffee. That's the 10%. But look at what he and we can do with the other 90% that is our reaction and our response. Cognitive behavioral psychologist Dr. Albert Ellis said, "No matter how badly you act, no matter how unfairly others treat you, no matter how crummy the conditions you live under are, you virtually always, yes, always have the ability and the power to change your intense feelings." So we all face those moments where we have to climb down from the tree. And then to move into each kingdom, you have to give up something from the prior kingdom. Moving from why me to by me requires that we give up being a victim. We give up powerlessness. We give up blaming others. The second kingdom that Marcia Sutton calls the kingdom of dominion is a place where we begin to see and use our own power. You know, the movie The Secret was much about how to use your own power. I think it had little to do with spirituality and more how to demonstrate things in your life. In this level of by me, we begin to recognize and develop creative capacities. We begin to see that we can create our own destinies by our thoughts and by our actions. And at this level of power, we're often ego-driven. What I want, I'm going to get. And we're using self-will more than we're using faith. In this level, the answer to Einstein's question of the world being a friendly place is both yes and no. Yes, if those things we're striving for come into existence, and no, if they don't. In the kingdom of dominion, when we fail, we don't blame others. We blame ourselves. If I work harder next time, it'll go better. Next time I'll just have to control things a little more. And another problem with this kingdom is our definition of success may be tied up in the things that we acquire. We want our business to expand, our car to be newer, our house to be larger. And since our ego's never satisfied, we're never going to completely be happy with what we have. We'll always want more. Thank God that most of us here are on a spiritual path that tells us this is not all there is. And we're moving from wanting things to wanting more meaning in our lives. We begin to see that there's something bigger than ourselves and our little world. We begin to bring the idea of spirit into our lives. And we see that true happiness comes in that spiritual relationship. Here we are moving from by me to through me. So what do we give up to move from the kingdom of dominion into the kingdom of freedom? We have to give up control. No longer is our world dominated by our own ego power. Rather, we are working with and through a spiritual power that we know is bigger than us. We have a sense that we have what Mary Manning Morrissey calls a divine support system. Have you felt that? That there's something, a lot of what Rosie read this morning is about knowing that there's a divine support system that makes things beautiful. We know that the presence and power that created this universe is available, present, and supportive of our highest good. And in this kingdom, Einstein's question of whether the universe is a friendly place is answered with a positive yes. And doesn't mean that everything in our world is going to go absolutely perfect all the time. But when we can see that our experiences are in relationship with spirit, the experiences that are less than wonderful become our greatest teachers. And the experiences that are less than wonderful can't devastate us because we're seeing the grander picture. We're aligned with the attributes of spirit. We allow ourselves to be guided by a greater vision, and we trust the process no matter what it looks like right now. We can use so-called failures as ways to reevaluate our life and our dreams. And when we trust the process, we find so many of the things we wanted come naturally in our lives. When John and I first came to Green Valley, John found a job right here in town, which allowed me easy access to our one car. When he found a better job in Tucson, I told him we need to manifest a second car. And I had just started here, and we didn't have a lot of money, and I wasn't making a lot of money. But I truly believed that was going to happen. The Spirit's going to provide. And my friend, Reverend Richard Windsor, came to visit us from Miami, and he said to me, I want you to have my car. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I need a different car, so this one will be yours. And before he went back to Florida, we went to the MDV and signed the papers, and he transferred the title to me. See, there was no way that I could have foreseen this. There is no way that I could have made it happen in that kingdom of by me, because this wasn't by me. And I think most of us here are really living at this level of through me, this kingdom of freedom. And I love it when people tell of their demonstrations. They have seen this stuff work in their lives, and they trust the process. The final kingdom, the kingdom of wholeness, or the space of as me, doesn't come often. Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu may have played easily in this kingdom, and they are the examples that we try to follow. But for me, this kingdom is a state of grace. It is when we truly feel that there is nothing but spirit. I think the experience with the blackberry that Rosie talked about was one of those state of grace experiences where that blackberry becomes all of spirit, and we're part of that. And I think you and I may catch glimpses of this grace, and when we do, we have something that nothing or nobody can take away. Martin Luther King had received numerous threats on his life and was in a state of exhaustion when he received yet another phone call in the middle of the night. An angry voice said, "Listen, N-word, we've taken all we want from you. Get out of Montgomery or you will be sorry." Martin Luther King said, "I hung up the phone but could not go back to sleep. It seemed like all my fears had come upon me. I had reached saturation." In those wee hours, he sat at his kitchen table with a cup of coffee, ready to give up, ready to run away. And at that moment, he prayed to God, and he said, "I have come to the end of my powers. I have nothing left. I cannot face this alone." And he says, "At that moment, I experienced the presence of the divine as never before. It seems as though I could hear the quiet assurance of an inner voice saying, 'Stand up for righteousness, stand up for truth. God will be on your side forever.' Almost at once, my fears began to pass from me. My uncertainty disappeared. I was ready to face anything. The outer situation remained the same, but God had given me inner calm." This is the kingdom of wholeness, the place of as me. We relinquish all sense of self, all sense of separation, and know that not only is something working through us, but we are that. A state of grace cannot be forced. It is those moments of pure aha, when there is no separation, there's only oneness, and really, there aren't any words that can describe this experience. Jesus said, "I and the Father are one." He saw no separation between himself as a human being and the universal wisdom in which he was immersed. Great poets, mystics, artists have felt this state of grace. Walt Whitman saw the entire New York skyline bathed in white light. And yet, there's nothing we can do to create this state of grace. The minute that we try to create it, we're separated from it. And the minute we know we are in it is the minute that we come out of it. But to have even a flash of it leaves us with a profound trust that can't be forgotten. My prayer is that each one of us will experience this flash at some point in our lives. Because when we do, everything starts to make perfect sense. And life is joy because life is spirit. So I think knowing these four kingdoms help us to realize where we are so that we can move out of a kingdom that is not productive and into one that is. I had a friend in Florida who was also a minister, and we had taken and then taught the financial freedom class. And she said to me, "Boy, was I playing around in Kingdom 1." She'd had a miserable day, and she was really playing the victim. And when she realized it, she had to laugh and say, "Look at the kingdom I'm playing in. What am I expected to get?" So when we are aware of them, then we know that we can step out of them. Say, "Oops, I'm in Kingdom 1. I'm in Kingdom 2. Can I move to Kingdom 3? And it's rather like our garden. If it's tended properly, we are not going to remain in that kingdom of uncertainty once we recognize that we're there. we can deliberately shift into the kingdom of dominion and the kingdom of freedom, turning whatever had annoyed us into a gift. So let's have fun this way. Get a piece of paper and just draw those 4 squares, and then just kind of track where you are, because it'll look like a blob. You know, because we do move from one kingdom to the other. We're not going to stay in the kingdom of as me forever, if at all, and we're certainly not going to stay in the kingdom of through me, even though that's what we're striving for. We are going to have those moments where the kid spills a cup of coffee on your shirt and you're going to react mean. You know, those things happen. But we can recognize it at the moment and pull those weeds up. And then with good-natured flexibility, shift when we need to. And in that way, we don't have to worry about those pesky weeds at all. Thank you. Namaste. If you can, let's stand up for it if you feel like it.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made from dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching angrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I am free as that feather thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, man is made of dreams and grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down.
And again, thank you, Rob, for being with us today. I really appreciate it so very much. Yeah. It's time for our offering. And I ask you to join me in our offering affirmation on the left-hand side of our bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful to be for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And again, thank you so much for allowing us to be a beneficial presence in this community, for allowing this little neck of the woods to be a spiritual sangha, a spiritual family that changes people's lives. I hear stories, and it just come tell your demonstrations. We'd like to share them because it really is fun to see how this stuff is working in everybody's life. So let's take a moment to close this portion out in prayer, and then please join us for refreshments. I know that there is one divine intelligence, one life that animates all life. I know that the attributes of this one are love, truth, beauty, harmony, peace, joy, abundance. And I know that made in the image and likeness of this intelligence, we are all of that. So I speak my word this week, right now, for each and every one of us to experience the beauty and the joy and the love of Spirit as it flows through us. For anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, we know that the healing power of God is right where that challenge is. So I know that all is well. I know that life is good and very good, as we say together, and so it is. And may we stand and sing Stand, please.
Let there be peace.